Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have decided to do this month's video based on actually a comment I had from somebody on one of my other videos recently about how to navigate and understand your market. So thank you to whoever left that comment because it's a great idea, and that is going to be the focus of today's video. This is going to be really relevant to anybody that is fairly new to recruitment, or even if you're somebody experienced and you've been asked to work a different desk or a different niche. Obviously, it's important for us to understand the industry we recruit for, but I do want to say at the start, what will make you a successful and excellent recruiter is actually you honing the skills and the art, I suppose, of recruitment. People come to you because you are an expert in recruitment, not because you're an expert in engineering or IT. They come to you because you know your shit about recruitment and that you're good at what you do. So knowing the industry and the market, yes, it is part and parcel, but it's not solely the only thing that's going to make you an amazing recruiter. So I just want to put you at ease at the start of the video. I remember starting in recruitment, I went into IT and engineering, and you feel like you're dealing with a minefield. There feels like so much to learn. There's all these different terms. There's all these technical aspects to the industry. I'd never worked in IT or engineering before. I was absolutely clueless. You also then have an office of people around you who are more experienced, and you're listening to the types of conversations they're having, and it can feel a little bit overwhelming to think, oh my God, I need to know all this information. You then have to speak to candidates who are doing those jobs, who know the market, they know the industry, and you feel like a bit of a fraud. You feel like at any moment somebody's going to call you out, they're going to know that you don't know what you're talking about, and you're going to lose your credibility. I remember how it felt. Anyone that's in a similar position at the moment, you're probably feeling the same. I see it in the guys that I train and the girls that I train, where they feel very overwhelmed about what they need to know about the industry. So I want to pass on some tips and advice that are going to help you get your head around things a little bit quicker and feel a bit more comfortable with the market that you're working on. Remember as well, this won't happen overnight. The people that you're hearing in the office that are using all the terminology, they're having these amazing chats, they've got all the lingo. I bet if you go and ask them, they didn't wake up one morning and suddenly have this knowledge. It took them time to get that, and they'll have more experience than you. So don't put that pressure on yourself to be at that level so quickly in your recruitment career. Tip number 1, I think the best way to learn about your market is by speaking to your candidates. And I'll be honest with you, in particular when I was recruiting pharmaceutical sales roles, which was the bulk of my recruitment career, I learnt most of what I knew from just speaking to my candidates. From screening them thoroughly, letting them talk, asking them open questions, I gained like priceless knowledge from them. I was writing everything I needed to know down, and if they said something, maybe it was an abbreviation that I didn't understand, I'd ask them. That went completely over my head then. What does that mean? They weren't expecting me to know that. Not once did I get somebody question why I didn't know the answer to that. They were happy to tell me and educate me. And that is how I learnt more about the industry. It was invaluable. So naturally, you are going to grow the knowledge and the ability to navigate your market by speaking to the candidates that you'll be dealing with. So they are an excellent resource, and I would say a top priority is get on the phone and just ask questions. Tip number 2, and I have seen a couple of agencies that I've done some training in do this. Can you go out on site and spend time with any of the clients and immerse yourself in the market? It's a great way to understand what your clients do and what your candidates will be doing in that company, but also to know more about the market. So, for example, when I worked in the agency where I was doing pharmaceutical sales, I'd never been a pharmaceutical sales rep, so I had a little bit of an understanding of what the day-to-day might be of the role because people had told me, my candidates told me, but I'd never actually been at the coalface and done the job. So I asked one of our reps if I could go out with her for the day, and it was amazing. I spent the whole day with her, driving around to the different surgeries, the different hospitals. I couldn't go into the meetings because that wasn't allowed. I wasn't licensed to do that. But I was able to pop into certain surgeries, see how she dealt with the receptionist, see how she planned her day, what kind of challenges she came up with. And it was really useful for me then to understand the market I was working in, but to then explain the job to the candidates. I'm not saying that's going to be possible for everybody. In particular, if you're recruiting for sectors where it's quite high profile, maybe the jobs they're doing may be confidential information. But I've seen agencies do it before that recruit for construction type roles. They've gone out for a meeting with some of the managers and they've had a site tour. So it's enabled them to understand a bit more about their market, about the niche area they recruit for, but also the jobs that their candidates are going to be doing as well. And it's then helped them pick up other clients because they've understood more about the world that they recruit for. So that would be my tip number 2, which ties in nicely with tip number 3. And I kind of touched on it just now, which is shadow people if you can. These don't need to be clients or anything related to the company you recruit for. But if you're recruiting for, I don't know, IT, for example, do you know anybody that is a developer or works in a tech company? Can you spend some time with them? Can you go and do, some unpaid voluntary work experience if that's okay with your recruitment agency? That's going to help you understand and navigate the market a bit better. And most of the time you're going to end up having fun and it's going to benefit your role. This is something I recommend people to do that contact me who are looking to get into recruitment. Go and spend the day with a consultant. Go into an agency and offer to spend a week there for free to help out with admin tasks, but to understand the market more. This is exactly the same for the industries that you recruit for. It's all great inside info that you can gain. Tip number 4, again, links in kind of with the 2 things I've just mentioned. Utilize LinkedIn and make connections with people in your market. That's going to be beneficial for your recruitment, for building up candidates, for connecting with clients. But you will see things that they post, which could be industry news, it could be opinions, they could be thought leaders in the industry. So that's going to be very beneficial for you to understand and navigate the market better. But also, when you start making these connections, you can start interacting with these people. You can message them. And I think a great way is just being honest, ask for their help. Explain that you've recently joined the IT industry. You want to understand more about the market. Could they help you with this by having a short Zoom chat with you or a phone chat so you can cover off some questions? Let's be honest, this could lead quite nicely into a BD or a candidate call. But if not, you've gained some invaluable information that can help you understand your market better. So LinkedIn is a fantastic tool for doing stuff like this. And as I said, a lot of companies that you might then follow, they do post industry news and they'll post news and developments about their organisation. So follow the individuals, follow the companies and start reading what they post, because apart from speaking to them directly, that is going to help you understand more about the market that you're working. That ties in nicely with tip number 5. I think it's tip number 5. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, tip number 5. Start building a community for yourself as well. Now that will naturally happen if you start adding people within a certain area or industry on LinkedIn. You're naturally, if you start engaging with them, creating your own relevant community within your market. But you can do this on other platforms as well. It depends what you recruit for and if it's relevant. I know some people use Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all the different social media channels. You can start building up a little community. But there's not to say that you can't start a group on LinkedIn. And actually, linking in with the LinkedIn piece we just spoke about, join some groups on LinkedIn as well. Relevant groups within your market, because they will be posting information about the market in there as well. So building a community, I think at the moment is very, very valuable and useful. Tip number 6, part of what I think is important in understanding your market is actually really getting a grasp of the job titles that you need to be aware of. a good understanding of what is involved in those jobs. It makes it much easier to understand when your clients are recruiting, but also what kind of clients you need to be targeting. And then once you understand the responsibilities and the job titles, you can then work out the hiring managers for those roles. And then if you are a recruiter that does business development, that helps you understand that level as well. So how to navigate your BD. So again, speaking to the candidates, to be honest with you, is going to really, really help you understand more about the job roles, reading over the job specs, looking at people's LinkedIn profiles, speaking to people on LinkedIn maybe that do the relevant jobs. It's all putting pieces of the puzzle together for you. Tip number 8 or 7 potentially. I've got to a point now where I've forgotten how many tips I've given you, so I really apologise if I've got all the numbers wrong, but I think this is tip number 8. And this is something that I used to do when I joined pharmaceutical sales recruitment, and I actually did medical device recruitment as well. I discovered there were about 3 or 4, I think, industry-related websites that were pretty much like BBC News for that industry. I think Fierce Medical Devices was one of them from memory, for anybody that is recruiting for that sector. And I bookmarked them, I subscribed to them. So I would get emails with industry updates, but I would also look at some of the articles on those websites that had been posted to make sure that I was keeping up to date with industry news, but so I could also start to understand the market a bit better. When I started doing way more pharmaceutical recruitment, I then signed up for the Pharma Times magazine, which I used to get posted to me, but then went digital. And that was great because I was reading articles that were helping me just understand a little bit more about the developments in the industry and my market. And I was able then to spot opportunities with clients, but also converse better with my candidates and clients. So for your particular market, maybe ask colleagues in the office or the managers, is there a relevant magazine or website you can subscribe to get relevant updates and news about your market to help you navigate it better, to help you enhance your knowledge. And the last tip, which I believe is tip number 9, but like I said, I could be completely wrong, speak to your colleagues. I touched on at the start that when you join recruitment or when you're within your first year, if you're office-based, you hear a lot of what other people do and you always find your own style, but you do start to learn from those around you. And honestly, I wouldn't discount asking questions to your colleagues and your managers. No question is a stupid question. So ask them, how did they learn more about their market? How have they navigated the industry to get to where they are now? You can take tidbits of information from different people, but there may be snippets of advice and tips and information that people give you that really, really help you understand more about the landscape that you're recruiting for. So I would say that's something to definitely do. And I've done it before in my career. They might be able to just share things with you, things that have worked for them, mistakes that they learned from, challenges they faced that you need to know about the industry. Anything like that is invaluable. So don't feel that you can't go to your colleagues and that you should just know all these things. Remember, they have been you once upon a time. So I'm sure they'll be more than happy to help you navigate your market and understand more about the industry. Okay, I did mess up the tips. I think this is tip number 9. So we got there in the end. You need to just do your own research. So this sounds really simple and easy, but I'm going to highlight it anyway. Google, look at books that are relative to your industry. There's loads of different types of research that you can do. Are there any free courses out there? So I remember I needed to learn a little bit more. Well, I wanted to learn a little bit more about the NHS because the people I was recruiting were working within the NHS. So I found some little free kind of short courses online that I could do to learn more about the structure of the NHS more than anything, because it's pretty complex. Little things like that. Just go out and do your own research, guys, because that is going to help you navigate your market a lot better. So to summarize, you've come into this new industry and market and you're thinking, how the hell do I navigate all of this? Well, solutions wise, we've covered off doing some research, looking into the industry more yourself, but also speaking to people, going over and above in terms of building a community and linking up with people in the industry. There's so many things that you can do. There's probably more that I've missed. If there is anything, add it into the comments box, because it's great for me to learn as well from people that are doing this job. I can then pass it on to other people that I train as well. So it's invaluable information that you're all gaining. I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. Keep commenting on my videos. I absolutely love hearing from you, in particular your suggestions for subjects for future videos. That's how I came up with the one today. So if there's anything you want to see from future posts by me, please do add your comments. Or if you just want to let me know how many tips I missed today or what your thoughts are on the video, please add that in as well. Also, subscribe to the channel because I post these monthly. They're free videos, and then you'll get notified as soon as I post a video. I've added in the box below this video my LinkedIn profiles, my company page, loads of different ways you can connect with me. So please do. I absolutely love hearing from you on LinkedIn, and I can then add you into my recruitment community that I run online as well. So I hope you enjoyed, guys. I have loved having you with me today, and I will see you next month for another video.